Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Sang Lucci TV. It's another episode here with Kenny from at Hit the Bid Radio. What's going on? You see, he's got some new swag. You see, he's got some swag.
Yeah, maybe. No, these are old school shirts. I've been selling stuff on eBay. I found another box of this stuff. You know how much stuff I spent? Oh God, just awful.
Yo, let me ask you something. Have you ever talked to a brand guy about, like, let's say your logo or like redoing your logo, or did you just pull his head off, or did you just fucking yell at him for like 30 minutes and tell him how useless he was as a human being?
Who? What brand guy?
Just a brand guy, any brand guy that's supposed to come in there and redo your logo and redo your blah blah blah. Have you talked to anybody like this?
No, I always had friends in the business that helped me. You know, this is I designed it and he made it happen. The eyes are two guys with arrows pointing up and down. You know, red arrow up, red arrow down as their dicks. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, guys, let's get into some market topics here before me and Kenny start shooting the shit. We got to talk about Netflix, man. We have to talk about Netflix. Netflix here has been on what, a 70-point run in the last 2 days, and I got to show this chart. Yesterday, off the open, you know, she gapped up a little bit. I think to like I think it was like 627 or something like that, and then it just rocked through 630 and change. I saw buying on the 680 calls and the 685 calls and like the 675 calls. Rando buying. And I don't know if you guys can all see this chart. Kenny, can you see this thing? You can see this thing, right?
Yeah.
So you see all this activity down here. You see all this volume down here at like 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. All of a sudden I saw, you know, a couple of hundred contract lots go off of these way out of the monies.
Wow.
Way out of the money. You're talking about 50 points at that point. 670s, 680s, 685s, all this kind of nonsense. And then right off the open today, I mean, look at this shit. $2 to 16 fucking dollars. And then after it was done, look at all this premium that came off, man. I mean, there was huge, massive opportunity in Netflix today. Hopefully you guys capitalized on it. There was a great fade trade that we caught in the chat room here with some 680 puts. But Kenny, did you mess around with it all? And what do you think about the news that came out? I think there was some Brad Pitt shit in the beginning, and then there's some other nonsense.
I heard it was just a rumor that they're going to be splitting, or it was a split announcement, which I started hysterically laughing because back in 2000, some of you guys haven't been around, but 1998, 1999, when your stock would go up, you would announce a split, and that for some reason made your stock go up 10 or 20% that day.
Right.
Stock splits do not increase the value of your company. I mean, they do artificially bring the stock down to make it more enticing for people, but back in the day when, you know, Yahoo and DoubleClick and Netscape, all they would do is they would announce a split, the stock would go up 80 points. So I was like, wow, we really, truly are back to 1999. And it sent the same shiver of fear. I was like, maybe that's the sign of the top. And then I realized I'm a fucking retard because we're never going down.
Right. Absolutely. Did you play it at all?
No, I don't trade the big boys anymore. I've kind of shied away from it, but I want to just give kudos to my buddy who, you know, he bought it at $450, and I told him he was nuts. And
Yep. And they'll always give you the jab in the stomach for that one that went fucking right, won't they, man?
Yeah, I mean, the dude's got 100 shares, and he says I'm holding it to 1,000, and I was like, all right, do what you want, man. And you know, we're only 300 points away.
Yep. All right, so let's move on here to your UVXY. I mean, obviously everybody knows you're out there selling calls naked. You don't shy away from telling everybody what the fuck you're doing either. So how's that trade going? I mean, did it get a little scary? I just want to know if it got a little scary for you the last couple of days before we bounced yesterday.
Right.
Tape looked pretty weak, man. I mean, it did look pretty weak. So what did you do? I mean, did it look scary?
I got about 350 naked calls out there on the UVXY, all spread out, all different strikes, right? Now, I don't really have much to fear because I got 100 January 200s that I started selling in the first place. Then it was June's, and then I had some September 60s. I just started selling premium on, you know, the split adjusted UVXYs. So yesterday, when it finally broke 42.70, I had a little twinge of, ooh, maybe I should do something here. So I bought 500 shares at 42.90. And when it broke 43.10, I got the spike to 43.50, put a stop on it at 43.30. And next thing you know, I made some money on it long. Just, right. You know, I didn't want to let this thing, you know, explode with all that nakedness that I'm in. But then what happened is when I got stopped out of the stock and then it broke back under the VWAP around 42 and change, I wasn't able to short the stock anymore. Apparently it's, you know, restricted again. It's like hit or miss with this. I don't know if you could short the stock with your platform, but Lightspeed, it's like every 3 or 4 days they have shares available. So I hate making the phone call where I got to borrow, you know, got to pay for the borrow. So I just sold a $43 call, you know, for, I think it was $1.25. And, you know, they went down to 75 and I took my profit and I just day traded the call. I won't trade in the money options for more than just the day.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm selling $40 calls for next week naked. The naked ones that I'm holding are way out there.
They're way out there. You got the 60s and you're way the fuck out there. And then you also have time on your side as well.
Right. I just started selling December. I don't want to misquote it. December 80s, the split adjusted 80s.
Right.
They were up to about 950. I sold.
And then what month is that? What month is that?
This is December 2015.
So that's for December, and these fucking things are going for $9.
Right.
Insane. Absolutely insane, man. Yeah. Absolutely insane.
They dropped down. Now they're well, now the market's closed, so you don't get a proper bid. But I think they closed at 7, you know, about 685 today. Right. I'm going to keep selling these. You know, I'm going to get up to about, you know, 10 or 15 of them. I don't see them going to $85. What yesterday's print at 43.50 did for me is that's where I got my trigger now. So I have contingent covers. If UVXY prints 43.50, it'll trigger me to start covering the closer calls that I have naked. And that's it. Other than that, this thing's a piece of shit. I mean, all it does is when something goes down 90% of the time, I really, you know, I don't want to say I'm not afraid because I'm really exposed out there. You know, I got about $160,000 in margin just in that stupid contract. Right. So if something goes wrong, you know, Godzilla or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, do you have an example? Like, I have an example where I sold naked and shit fucking hit the fan. Do you have an example of a similar situation happening to you? I would like to hear like a brief synopsis of that example.
Naked calls or just naked options?
Like just naked options. Let's even say there were puts or naked calls or whatever. Let's say, I want to know when keeping it real goes wrong. I want to hear that story.
All right, Leapfrog is one that I always remember because I was a big fan of Leapfrog. You know,
you're talking about the little console shit?
I'm talking about the kids' toy company.
The kids' toy company. All right, got you.
So, you know, my kids, we were buying the crap out of this stuff, and these were not cheap toys. We're buying gifts. And I was like, you know what? Warren Buffett says, buy what you know. So, you know, I own the stock, and I was like, you know what? I got out of the stock, and it started going up again. So I was like, you know what? Let me sell some naked puts here, and if it pulls back to this price, I'll sure as hell be happy to buy. So I went a little bit too big, and I woke up one day and the stock was cutting down 50%, and I got fucking hammered. You know, I don't even know what that stock is now. It's probably like $5 or these.
Absolutely. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about? So you sold $1 put, let's say, and it opened up at like fucking $10 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I had to buy 10,000 shares of this thing. You know, 12 points below where I ever thought I would even be buying this thing. So, you know, it was probably stupid that you know, and that was what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking I was buying that stock. So let's just, I think let me go back. I don't even remember when this stock was in the 20s I think it was in the 30s, bro. So yeah. Just take for an example, the stock was at 30. I sold $118 puts for, let's say, 40 cents, thinking this thing's never going back to 18. I'm going to keep that $4,000 in 6 months. Next thing you know, I'm buying 10,000 shares at 18 when the stock's at around 12. So it was a mess. Yeah.
Right. So you have to hedge out in some way somehow. So yo, check out my story, right? Usually, and I don't know if any of you guys trade this strategy at all, but usually when you get close to a Friday, you can get some out of the money options on bigger volatility names like Priceline, like Google, still for like $1 that you can sell into these and book for, the 100%, right? So I would gun in with like 100, naked calls, naked puts, both sides kind of thing. And Priceline, I think just to screw me, right? The option was worth like 20 cents. And I was so sure that I was just going to book 10 grand in profits. All of a sudden, Priceline spiked 10 fucking points and then went on another 10-point rally. That option went to $20, bro. It went to 20 fucking dollars. I sold half at I bought back half at $6 for like a $60,000 loss.
Oh shit!
Just because I'm waiting for an extra 2 grand, I end up taking a $60,000 loss. Watch the bitch go to $20, and then it closes zero. It closes at zero, Kenny, bro. It was like the worst day of my fucking life, man.
Oh
so
my
careful
God.
if you get too big in these things. Market makers know. Smart money knows. These guys know, especially if you're in an illiquid name. Be careful about that shit.
Right. Even in the indices, what's happened to me is that, guys like us, I don't trade the size like you do anymore and like I used to. But what I used to do is I would scrape nickels together,
exactly
a day or so before options expiration. So,
right.
Next thing, let's say on the Qs, we're trading at 109.50, for example, and you got a day left. And I'm thinking, all right, 109's here for 5 cents. Let me sell 100. Or what's even worse is that I'll sell them, let's say 3 weeks from now, and I sell them at $1, and they're down to that nickel.
Right.
And you got, all right, 1 day left. I'm not gonna lose $500 and cover 100 contracts here for a nickel. I'll just wait till tomorrow till they expire, and then you get some awful, disgusting move where you just blew 3 weeks of money and you wind up losing money on the trade.
And that is the thing about writing options. You will be right 9 times out of 10 or 19 times out of 20, and you'll book that small, easy change. And that last fucking time, if you don't manage it well or don't hedge properly, you are going to get raped. And not raped in the traditional sense. I mean Law and Order SVU status on that ass, man. Law and Order SVU every single motherfucking episode, man. All right, so let's move on to the next topic here. I have for some reason it's not showing up. Pornhub here is trying to raise $3.4 million to shoot a sex tape in space, Kenny, and they launched an Indiegogo campaign to do it, right? And it's going to feature Johnny Sins. He's the guy from like Brazzers or whatever. And they're trying to raise $3.5 million to shoot a sex tape in space, bro. What do you think about this? Let's cut out here and let's talk a little shit.
You got to recap that for me. My wife's freaking bugging me. They're doing a sex tape in space? What?
They're trying to raise $3 million to shoot a sex tape in space, bro. To shoot a sex tape, and this is Pornhub right here. This is what they're trying to do. And they launched a crowdfunding campaign for it. For $3 million.
I immediately want to contribute $5. Where do I want to be on the list that I helped perpetuate the first space porn. So
no doubt.
Where do I sign up? Goddamn Yankees. Fuck.
No doubt. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Guys, I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link here on Twitter. All right. So what else is going on in the world of stocks? We got to talk about my financial swing. I've been holding Citigroup, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Prudential, all these names for like a month now. Legit, like a month now. Finally got an exit on a lot of these names. Citigroup took off half position. Wells Fargo finally took off half position. I had June and July monthlies, and all of them hit all-time highs. Prudential, which is an insurer, this one didn't hit an all-time high, but this one has been flying the last week from 85 to about $90. So caught that pretty good with some 90 Julys. Are you playing financials here? What are you thinking? Obviously, we see this big rotation into financials and insurers. Have you been playing any of these, Kenny?
I'm playing the biggest one. I still own the same 2 stocks we talked about last time, AIG and Bank of America.
Okay, AIG. So you're rocking on the AIG right now.
Yeah, except, again, these are with naked puts. I sold $50 naked puts a while back on AIG, and same thing with Bank of America. I sold leaps on it, like the $15 leaps back when it was around 1550. So that's looking a lot better. And again, I got a little bit. I don't have much AIG and Bank of America. I got a couple of hundred shares lying around in my portfolio, but AIG, I think it's I think it might have hit a 3-year high today. I'm not too sure.
I think, I think it's right around there, around 61.70, $62.
Yeah, maybe a 4-year high. This is going back to where we spiked after the reverse split when I was making fun of AIG, and I got on the I made the front page of the Wall Street Journal because I did a video about how I was so appalled at the fact that they even brought this company back as a publicly traded stock, and the fact that it was going up. And then it dawned on me, I was like, what am I doing? I'm fighting the world here. I'm fighting the government. The government took the stock over, reissued the stock. It's probably going to go to 100.
Yeah.
And just as the article came out, as I was saying, I hope this thing goes to 0. I was one of my biggest positions long. So, and again, that's what makes trading trading. That's why, again, all the bile and the hate that I get on certain videos about bad calls, I was like, dude, 20 minutes later, I wasn't even in that stock. I mean, come on, people like Alcoa. If anyone's out there still going to hound me about Alcoa, let me just make it perfectly clear. Fucking hate Alcoa now. You understand? 4 times this thing couldn't get past 17. I've been out of the stock since October.
You know, I think the same fate here is going to happen to all of those. I mean, that's aluminum and steel. Like, I think all the steel stocks now are just going to shit the bed. Like, they look like they were going to do it. Like Cleveland, like CLF, X, you know, MT, all these steel names, they look like they were going to do it. AK Steel. MT still looks a little bit. MT still looks okay, but then all those coal names, they just came back completely. Like, I think all these things are going to end up just like your freaking UVXY, just like all this other shit, or just like dry ships. You remember fucking dry ships?
I know them all, man. I know them all.
Yeah.
Dry ships, MCP, Walter Energy. Yeah.
Oh man, MCP, the rare earth. I still remember Kramer just yelling, "Yay, hurrah to rare earth! Buy rare earth today, man!"
Yeah.
And that MCP was like a $70 stock, man. I still remember that shit.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of. I mean, those are it's good that those stocks are around just to remind you that hey, not every stock goes up all the time. You know.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, AIG, man. This is I'm trying to. I don't even have a. It's definitely a 3-year high because I have it. You know, there's nothing on my chart. That's wow. That's a. It's up 100%. Yeah.
Dude, they all look pretty good. Even the regional banks, too. So you got your State Street that just broke out today. STI, you got your Fifth Third Bank, FITB. Like, money is definitely rolling into the banks, and I think it's going to continue here for the summer as long as the indexes just chill out here. So that brings us to the next topic here, Kenny. We're right back to that sort of 212 area here. What do you think, man? What do you think for this market right now? I mean, obviously the moves here over like 2 or 3 day periods, they're pretty rambunctious, man. I mean, 2 days ago we had that zone of death article from fucking Market Watch. You read that shit? That shit was everywhere. We are now entering the zone of death.
Is that like the Hindenburg omen or the
all of that. And they were like, yo, protect your gains, blah, blah, blah. And I've been seeing a lot of put protection in the options market as well, pretty recently. And then boom, you have today, which totally bucks everything, you know, from a couple of days ago, man. So what do you think going into the summer months here? What can we expect? I'm thinking more chop around that all-time high SPY level, but there's no follow through really either way.
Yeah, well, a couple of points. First of all, go back to the UVXY. This is my guide. If the UVXY keeps plummeting, I remain bullish. UVXY starts to spike, I get negative on the day, and then I see if it. The day the UVXY, and again, we haven't had three green closes on UVXY since I believe January. We've had only 2. We only had 3 2-up days in a row on this stock. So when this thing has 3 days up in a row, I might be nervous about the market. As of now, I love the sideways action, but more importantly, and I hate using the quote that everybody uses, it's not a stock market, it's a market of stocks. Bro, who cares about what the market's doing when you got FEYE going batshit insane? You got GoPro tagging 17 points after breaks.
You got motherfucking Netflix rocking.
But the one that I got to mention, and I mentioned to you guys as the dog that might come back this year, Cena.
Cena!
You got to be nuts.
Yo, and that's the Chinese ding dongs, man. I mean, Yoku, the Cenas, we've been talking about this a lot. All of a sudden, you get a $10 Yoku stock that tripled. Nobody uses this fucking thing. I don't even know how to get on this thing. Every time I get on it, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I can't get any of the videos. I don't even know what I'm doing on the fucking Yoku thing. Yeah, and this thing tripled in value. Like, I want to short the piss out of these things, but they just won't come in, man. They just won't come in. China is on some shit right now.
I don't understand. Every time I read something, I hear China slow down, China slow down, China slow down. Can China do this? I don't know. But again, the less I read into stuff, the better I do. You know, I just know this stock is just going nuts. And the last time the reason this whole thing got started, I mean, I was in the stock. This was just more lucky than good. I just happened to be in the stock, and the CEO made the announcement he's buying a chunk of shares. And going back like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, when he did one of these big buybacks, the stock went up 100 points. So people are just saying, hey, this guy obviously knows what he's talking about. Yep. I'm getting involved. And today, it just hit a 3-year VWAP, which is very, very rare. Right. You know, this stock just made such a dramatic comeback. So basically, today was the last day. I sold my last 100 shares at $57.75 and went up another $1 after that. But it closed below that. So tomorrow, for guys like us who hate when stocks go up 300% without pulling back and we're just sitting there waiting to short it, tomorrow could be that day on Cena that we finally maybe get a couple of points pull back. But, you know, shorting these juggernauts right now, it's just, it's not healthy.
And it's so easy. It is so easy to get squeezed in this type of environment too. I mean, you see the Netflix here. All right. Like, that's not just pure buying. That is a lot of short squeezing as well. You know, so you see how extremely easy it is to push shorts out of the equation. I mean, look at this Tesla move, 60 points up. Like, I've been trying to short into this, nothing, getting absolutely nowhere. You know, there's a lot of things that you can't aggressively sit on the short side and accumulate that kind of a position, because you will get squeezed the fuck out. All right. So guys, stick with, as Kenny said, you know, take it a little bit slower, be a little bit more patient. Where else were we going? Yeah. So for the market in general, you're just going to sit there on that UVXY. And I'll tell you what, Kenny, as soon as you see some interesting activity in that UVXY, I expect you to let me know, man. Let me know, because that's going to be my indicator too.
Yeah, it's a great indicator. I turned a lot of guys onto this, and it is a great trade. It's a trading vehicle, and it's a good index to watch to plan your trades around. You know, speaking of other short squeezes, you want to see a sick chart, the sickest one? You know how I love these beaten up piece of garbage stocks? NQ.
NQ. Okay, yeah. We've seen a lot of options activity on that NQ as well in the steam room.
Yes.
$4.5, $5, $6, $7, all out to November, all out to August. This thing squeezed like a motherfucker. Guys, take a look at this NQ. I don't even know what the hell this thing is. I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Okay, let me just point out. This is the what's the word I'm looking for? A microcosm of all that is how I trade. Okay. This company is purported, what's the word I'm looking for? There's rumors of this company not even being a real company. They don't do anything. It's just the biggest pyramid scam in the world. And then there's the other guys on the other side of the fence saying this is the most undervalued telecommunications company ever. Somewhere in the middle, there's got to be some truth. Muddy Waters was pounding the stock a couple of years ago. But once again, I don't care.
Right.
Somebody got this rumor started that there's a takeover. The stock's heavily shorted. It broke out of a 3-month base, 6-month base. Yep. So I was like, you know what? If this thing breaks 440, it could easily get to I was looking 480. I'm looking to make 40 cents on the trade. And then it blows past 480. I'm like, wow, I guess it's going to test 5. And then at 525, I'm like, I got to sell most of this. Yep. And then yesterday, bro, this stock hits 591, which was one of our targets. I was like, guys, I'm selling the rest right here. And I might go short. It starts to come in. I slam it short at 588.
I
Goes
see.
right to 570. I cover. Goes to 535. So not only did this thing blow off the top,
I see.
breaks the 1 minute VWAP, breaks the multi-day VWAP, goes red, hits a low for the day, and still comes back into the close and goes higher today. Something's up. Something's up. That stuff is nuts.
No doubt. And we've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of that on a lot of the ding dong China names, you know, where they just break through these levels and they never fucking come back. They never come back.
No reason. I would have bet my life that was done for. I thought that stock would be at 420 today, down 30%.
And had you have bet your life, you would have gotten fucking smoked, man. Can't get too biased here in this market. All right, next topic here, Wingstop IPO here, man. Wingstop is a chain here that Rick Ross, is invested in apparently at the earlier stages. There's a lot of other celebrities in it as well. They raised their IPO price to 16 to 18 from $12. Do you think it's going to be a flop, or do you think it's going to be a winner? First of all, have you had Wingstop?
I can't comment. I have no idea what it is. What is it?
So it's like a chain. It's a chain. It's a food chain, and it's just straight up wings. It's just straight up wings, and it's located predominantly in the South. I want to say, like Dallas-based quick service operator, registering 5.8 million shares, and yeah, offering price here $17 per share. That's where they're trying to go for. So they're trying to raise about 31 million or something. Actually, no, 105 million bucks. So predominantly based in the South, and dude, they're going for an IPO. I mean, how has the food market been for IPOs? I mean, we've had what? We've had Noodles, Loco. We've had Noodles has been a bust, right? You've had Loco, which has been a bust. Shake Shack, which has been a fucking monster. Right. Definitely pulled back from the highs at around 96. What do you think here, man? Wingstop, any potential here?
In this market, I bought a stock the other day. I didn't even know what it was. GI. I heard it was an IPO. I was like, oh, I guess I got to buy it, and it went up like $1, and then it went up going up like 3 points. In this market, people are just looking to buy something. They'll probably have a nice move like Loco did for a few weeks, and then reality will set in. I've never heard of it, so I don't even know. I mean, at least I've heard of El Pollo Loco before that came out, and Noodles. I never even heard of this chain. So
right. Again, what about Bojangles? You ever heard of Bojangles?
I've heard of Bojangles. Yeah.
Right. So they also recently filed here. I don't know if that thing is trading. So they raised about 150 million in the IPO, sold 8 million shares, priced at $19 a share. I don't know if that thing is actually trading right now, which would be crazy.
I don't know. That Bojangles is like a burger place, right? More or less.
Yeah, Wingstop is number 3 in the most recent Nation's Restaurant News top 10 growth chains, with 540 million in U.S. sales.
Wow. Okay. But they're not up here, so.
They're not up here.
The East Coast, you ain't worth shit. What?
Yo, Rick Ross will post on his Instagram all the time, like, girl, I ain't taking you to no fancy restaurant. I'm taking you to fucking Wingstop. And he'll do it in his fucking, in his Maybach.
I don't know, man. I never even heard of it. But, hey, listen, it's like I tell everybody about any stock. It's just a symbol and a price to me.
No doubt.
Give me 7 days of data so I can put some VWAP on it, and I'll tell you what I think. So that again, I don't stray from the path anymore. I did one of my seminars yesterday talking about there's 100 things you could do wrong in the market. There's about 4 things that work. Find the 4 things that work for you and stick to it. As much as it's redundant, boring,
no doubt.
And you're not supposed to be excited. You're not supposed to be going. You're not supposed to be having the time of your life. It's you want to make money, do the same thing every single day. It's boring, but if it works, you grind it out, you make some money, you move on.
Sage advice from Kenny Glick at Hit the Bid here. All right, so let's leave him with something here, man. Let's leave him with some last notes. Tomorrow is a Stock Twits party out in Bryant Park, correct?
Yeah, man.
All right, so for anybody who's out there in New York, is there a link for this thing? Is there a link where they can sign up, or is there what's going on?
I think you could Google it, you'll get right to it. But it's at Bryant Park Cafe if you guys are in the New York City area.
Right, and that's the outdoor bar thing that they have over there, right?
I think they're having an indoor-outdoor. We'll see when I get there. I don't think I've ever been to this place. But due to the fact that me and your crew drank them out of vodka last time. Drinks aren't on the house this time.
Yes, yes. All right, so I might pop up.
We were triple fisting at the last party.
Dude, I remember, man. The lady got so mad at me too, man. We had the G pen in there. Yo, the lady got so mad at us, man. We were reckless, absolutely reckless up in there. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining in. Tune in next week for another episode of SLTV with Kenny. Kenny, last words here, man.
Last words. My favorite stock is still SPCB. They reported good earnings. Very undervalued company. There's no options on it, which kind of makes it a little bit more volatile. Very low volume. Still love this stock. SPCB just tagged in brand new high today, but then it pulled in. So love it. Love it. Still buying it. I buy it, a little bit every day. And I'm telling you, I think this stock's going to be $30 within 18 months. So it's at $14. Not a bad risk reward. Stop around 11.85 on it for a swing.
No doubt.
Other than that, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. UVXY all-time lows again. And Mr. Jones, if you loved it at 98,970, you got to pick it up here at 37.50. Dollar cost
Indeed. Indeed. All right, Kenny. Talk to you soon, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow, guys. We'll have plenty of stories next week from the Stock Twits event, as well as Peter Zhang's birthday in Brooklyn in Saturday. We will be totally taking a lot of pictures and everything, throwing it on Twitter. So we'll see you guys soon. Make sure you watch the Twitter feeds.
Cool.
Later.
Happy birthday. Speak to you later.
Laters.